Welcome to Sheriff's Talk, a public affairs program of KWN TV 7. Join us every week as we talk various aspects of law enforcement and how important it is for the citizens and law enforcement to work together. Now join us for another edition of Sheriff Talk on KWN Live and Local TV Channel 7. Welcome into this week's edition of Sheriff Talk here on KWN TV and streaming on ITV Chattanooga. Welcome, everyone.
Thank
Good
you.
to be here.
And back again. I can't remember. I think just the two sheriffs were here last week. That's right. You and Bo were here last week, right? No, week before. Week before. That's right. That is right. So Bo got some training going on this week, so he couldn't be here. They were having some in-service and things like that that was going on. So, but anyway, we're glad that you're here, and we're glad that y'all are here. And on this program today, you've got a new detective.
I do. He'll be arriving here
I
shortly.
mean, you got two detectives here,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you had to get help for them, or what?
Yeah.
Well, we need it.
So he's going to come on and look forward to meeting with him. And you've also had a couple of changes. I know you've got not a new by any stretch of the imagination resource officer at the elementary school, but you've got Officer Baker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nathan Baker's now the resource officer at the elementary, and we had another detective. Chad Payne's been promoted to detective, and he's in training today as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that says about y'all. I don't know.
The sheriff's bringing about some changes that are meant to help and get stuff done.
Well, seriously, I was, of course, joking there.
Oh,
but,
yeah, yeah.
I get tickled, in national politics because they always talk about, the president's got rid of this person or whatever. They all serve at the pleasure of the president, And I'm assuming really all of the deputies and detectives and everybody all serves at your pleasure, technically. But you got a great staff.
We do, and I'm very proud of them.
Yeah, that was a joke. Well, but seriously, kind of tell us a little bit about. I mean, what are you trying to?
Just trying to get the department, or the office. We say department. We're not a department. We're an office of the sheriff. So we're trying to get as much help as we can. Detectives, they stay covered up in there a lot with cases, and Cindy works most of our sex crimes and child cases, and she stays constantly covered up, and
that is so sad.
It is, and
because that's the two things that should never go together.
Exactly. Yeah.
Those two words should never go together.
Yeah, wish that crime
It should never happen.
never happens, but it does, unfortunately.
Yeah, it does.
But these two right here, I'm so proud of them. They do such a fantastic job, and they're so good with the public. They know how to talk to people and treat them right, and I appreciate that, because that's what we're all about.
Well, that's good. We look forward to meeting your new detective, of course, Detective Payne, if you will. That's going to be hard to get used to saying.
It is.
Yeah.
That's a big asset, Evan, because not only is he bringing himself as a detective, I'm letting him take his K9 too with the department, and that way, if let's say we're working a drug case or something, we got our drug dog right there. If he can go get him or get her or whatever he needs to do. So that's a big asset.
Missing person, missing child,
sure.
that'd be huge.
Yeah.
Track.
And Chad is still the PIO, Public Information Officer for the office, so a lot of shoes to fill there. So.
Well, he's a big guy. He's not as big as he once was, but he's a big guy still.
Yeah, and good guy. He's he's great with the public. So that's some of the attributes that these people have, and I'm just lucky to have them.
Yeah, I think that you do have a good department. You got it's becoming a seasoned department, and I know that sometimes that's hard and the turnover of the day. But I'm thinking about some of the folks that have been in law enforcement for, I talked to Heartline the other day, and and he's been, he and I went through detention school together.
Yeah, Jeff's been here forever.
I don't know if that makes me old or him. I'm not really sure.
Neither.
There you go. I like that.
I told Jeff.
And Duval, we went through too.
Well, no, he is old.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
that's true.
Jeff, as long as he's been here, and he is still a go-getter, buddy. He's out there working.
is.
He answers his calls. I mean, I'm just so proud of just about all of our officers. They do a fantastic job. And you have somebody like Jeff's been here forever, and still doing as much as he did when he was a rookie. So he's doing great.
And that's it's just like any other job. I mean, you've got to want to, and you've got to get up in the morning and realize. And for those of you who are out there, I mean, you've worked jobs, and sometimes it's harder some days to get up to go to work than it is on others.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Had something happen this morning that very rarely happens. Marianne said I had a visitor out in the hall, and if I could meet with him, I said, sure, send him in. He come in and shut my door, and he said, Sheriff, I'm not here to complain. I'm not here to gripe or anything else. He just said, I want to come by and thank you for standing by our Second Amendment rights. And I said, well, that's what I said before I ran for sheriff, that I would always do. And he was just so appreciative. And I said, you don't know how much it means to me to come in and just tell me that. So I appreciate him doing that.
Well, I know that the county's in the process of becoming a Second Amendment rights sanctuary. Some believe that the fact that that's probably just, I mean, it's not needed, but it's just an extra document, I guess, if you will. The best thing that I have heard described about that is the fact that the county commission, once they approve that, and the ordinance is completely approved, that they have basically said, we will pay the legal fees to protect whatever infringes on the citizens' right in Dade County. It's more of a legal thing where now if somebody filed the federal government or whoever filed and said we're going to not allow this or whatever, that the county's already said, no, we're going to fight it legally through whatever means and pay attorneys to be able to fight it. That's, from what I understand, that's what that means.
The good thing about this resolution is, it's just a resolution. It's not a law or anything like that. Right. But it sends all the sheriffs in most of the northern part of Georgia, and I'm sure just about all the sheriffs in Georgia are for the Second Amendment rights of our Constitution and our citizens. But it sends a message to Atlanta and to Washington that we're not going to stand for taking our gun rights away from our law-abiding citizens. And I've always said that I'll never do that, and I won't do that. I'll lay this badge down before I take
remember when you
away.
first ran, you actually you'd made that a part of your platform, if you will.
Well, like I told them when we were trying to propose this resolution, that I don't care if there's a resolution there or not, I'm still going to uphold the Second Amendment rights, and I will not take anyone's...
Well, it's part of an oath that you take.
It is.
I mean, every police officer, every government, every elected official takes that same oath that they'll protect the Constitution.
That's right.
And that's part of the Constitution. And it's really sad that we're having to have this conversation.
It is. But, the Second Amendment right was enacted to help citizens protect themselves from the government. That's what it was enacted for, and that's kind of what we're up against here as the government. So, we're going to do everything we can to stop that from ever happening.
Well, I think you've discussed it, Sheriff Burnett. I mean, anybody in law enforcement that's been up here on the program, it's not the issues of shootings and mass shootings and things of that nature. Y'all do everything that you can to keep that from happening every day. But, as I've heard y'all say, it's not the taking away, it's dealing with the issue of why we're having it. Now, not the guns are not the reason, they're actually a tool that's being used.
Exactly.
You need to look at the reason why that's happening, and that's where the efforts need to be focused on that. We're going to take a break. It's good discussion. We'll have more coming up. Stay with us here on Sheriff Talk on KWNTB.
At Comfort Gallery in Kimball, you can truly shop for any piece of furniture from any of our manufacturers. Drop in today and use our in-store kiosk. It's over 40 inches of full color, completely interactive for ease of use. And yes, you can shop all of our manufacturers for virtually any piece you may be looking for. Come to Comfort Gallery in Kimball to find exactly what you need for your home using our kiosk to shop from all of our manufacturers. Free delivery and setup, 1 year free layaway, and 6 and 12 months same as cash available at Comfort Gallery, 780 Main Street, Kimball, Tennessee.
Tennessee Valley Net, your local provider of fiber optic high-speed internet. TV with over 200 digital channels available. And phone service with lots of extras. Fiber optics from TVN is expanding to many areas. Call and see if TVN is available in your area. 706-657-4367. Or log on at tvn.net today. Bundle and save on fiber optic high-speed internet, digital TV, and phone service. All from Tennessee Valley Net. 706-657-4367. Online at tvn.net.
For the best deals on a Chevy, any time of day, roll on down to Riverside Chevrolet.
Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty, has a great deal on the 2020 Chevrolet Equinox. Enjoy 0% for 72 months plus $1,000 off MSRP. With approved credits and restrictions apply. Offer expires 3/2/2020. We make buying so easy.
Roll on down to Riverside Chevrolet.
Located off I-24 West in Kimball, Tennessee.
It's Bath Wrap's Simply Transformative Celebration Sale. Call now and get $600 off your new tub or shower, plus a free designer upgrade worth $1,200. And call before the end of today's program and get a free Bath Wrap safety package. Bath Wraps can transform your tub or shower from something like this into something like this in just one day. Whether you're looking for a beautiful new tub or shower, the time is now to transform your old, outdated bathroom into the custom Bath Wrap's bathroom of your dreams. Choose from hundreds of colors, styles, patterns, accessories, and safety features like custom grab bars, no-slip shower floors, and seated showers. Your new Bath Wrap's bathroom is backed by a lifetime warranty and installed in as little as 1 day. Call now to set up your free, no-obligation consultation during Bath Wrap's Simply Transformative Celebration Sale.
Call 855-288-8412. That's 855-288-8412.
Continuing on with Sheriff Talk here on KWN TV, and the discussion was centered around Second Amendment and the rights. You're right, a lot of counties and even some state legislatures are starting to talk about that, and you know, you would have never thought that we would have had to have made that type of a statement, you know, in years past, but unfortunately it is. And you know, there's a lot of harm done with a gun, but it's always done by that person, or there is a small percentage, and thank the good Lord it is, that there's accidental shootings. And you know, those the unfortunate thing will always be there. I do like the fact that there's especially for hunting and people, they want you to go through training and to get licenses, not to have the gun, but to have a license to be able to hunt. You have to go through the safety and know the safety laws and the vest. And I mean, you know, because I'm sure over the years y'all have worked cases where a hunter has gotten shot, you know, accidentally, you know, and I've heard of cases, you know, maybe they wasn't wearing a vest, you know, and you know, maybe that hunter wasn't at some point in time didn't have the proper training to recognize what a vest would look like in the middle of, you know, I mean, so there's accidents out there.
There is.
And then there's, you know, there's other individuals like some of the mental health issues.
Yeah, that we deal with daily. That's one thing I don't know if we're ever going to get on top of. We've talked with the state and everybody else trying to get some help, and it's just not coming. So I don't know where that's going to go.
You know, I'm not really sure, you know, other than the fact of funding. And we've seen the same thing kind of getting off topic here, which is fine. But we've seen the same type of funding issues when it gets to overcrowding in prisons. You know, they're and maybe so. Maybe there is folks that have been sent to prison that had an exuberant amount of time, and maybe it. Maybe they have learned their lesson and needs another shot and doesn't need to be in prison after, 10 years of a 30-year sentence or something.
Well, my whole thing on this mental health issue and any overcrowding too is, you look at this is a public safety issue, and that'll override some of these other programs that are out there that's most important is public safety. We got people out here that need to be in mental institutions that we're now having to put them in jails and incarcerate them, which puts not only them at risk, it puts my staff at risk, or jail staff or prison staff. But nothing seems to be getting done about it, and that issue needs to be top priority, in my opinion. Take care of this mental health problem, because it's just getting worse and worse all over the state of Georgia. You talk to every sheriff you can think of, and nobody's getting any help. And,
and I don't think it's a state line issue either.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not.
No.
But it's a state issue that needs to be addressed. I don't know if they need to get federal money or whatever, but some money's got to be put into it to get some more institutions or hospitals or whatever built to take the burden off the sheriffs and the counties.
Well, and really for the families that are involved, I mean, you have to look. I mean, the incarcerating somebody that may have a mental illness where they need to be treated for that illness. I mean, their whole family's affected.
Sure.
Well, not to mention at home. Some of these families live in fear of what their loved one is going to do. Yeah. Their illness, not the person, but the illness of that person allows them to mistreat their families at times. It allows them to take advantage of things. The illness itself is to blame, but the collateral damage that's caused at homes, when they do come to jail, sometimes the family is just relieved, but there's nowhere for them to go usually. So families
So they go back.
take it. They just, and that's just a really bad place to be.
Sad.
It's a very bad place to be.
Well, and I don't know, and y'all may know. I mean, there is help out there. There's helplines. There is places to go. But where do y'all refer someone that a family may reach out to y'all and say, we think there's some mental issues going on? What's the first line of being able to tell them?
Well, Lookout Mountain Community Services tries to help somewhat. We reach out to them sometimes. If it's an elderly person, Adult Protective Services, we get a little bit of help, but mainly it's just local agencies that are taking care of this problem, and it's not working. We've had 3 or 4 in the past month, I know, in my jail back there, don't need to be incarcerated. They need to be in a hospital somewhere.
Getting counseling.
And we don't have the medication to give them. We can't administer medication through shots and stuff like that. That's another problem that we've got them there. Now we can't even take care of them that we got them there, and all we do is put them in a room, and that's wrong.
Now, for years, what we would call the Rome Regional Facility, which is Rome Regional Hospital there in Rome, but they shut that down. Where is your nearest facility?
Atlanta.
And how do you get somebody in it there? I mean, do you have to take them? Can you call them and say, I'm bringing you somebody? What's the process?
We usually transport if we can get them in there, and bed space is another problem. And, get them admitted. They have to be evaluated and everything else. So it's a big, long, drawn-out process that just isn't working.
So basically, it's one government entity having to go through red tape to work with another government entity.
Put it cut and dry. The funding has been cut off through the state, maybe through starting the federal government, and it's filtered down to one of the counties to take care of it. So that's where we're at. It's a money issue, is what it is.
Yeah. We'll take another break. Stay with us. Sheriff Talk continues all around the tri-state area here on KWN TV.
Can you gig it? Oh, yes, you can. We know you've been waiting for a long time, and now Tennessee Valley Net is bringing it to you. Gigabit internet service now available in certain areas of Dade County. Not just fast, super fast internet service now available from Tennessee Valley Net. People are talking, I mean really smiling about gig speed internet available in limited areas from Tennessee Valley Net. Call today at 706-657-4367 or log on at tvn.net and see if gig speed is available where you are. We know you'll gig it from Tennessee Valley Net. Come hungry and leave satisfied at Cloud's Pizza, Highway 71 in Higdon. Cloud's Pizza uses only the freshest ingredients, and we hand toss our own pizza dough. Our pizzas are made from scratch when you order, so they're always fresh. And don't forget about our famous Sand Mountain cheese sticks. You can eat from the daily buffet or try a mouth-watering hamburger or cheeseburger. Come see your friends at Cloud's Pizza, Highway 71 in Higdon, and never leave hungry. Call ahead at 597-3100 for Cloud's Pizza. Visit us on Facebook at Cloud's Pizza and more.
Come see us at Cloud's Pizza.
Georgia Northwestern Technical College is now accepting applications for classes. We offer programs in business, health, industrial, and public service at 6 campus locations with financial aid options as well. Take day, evening, or online classes to get your degree, diploma, or certificate. Apply now. Drop by one of our campuses today or check us out at gntc.edu. Georgia Northwestern Technical College.
A good lawyer personally leads his clients through every step of the personal injury case process. Paralegals, investigators, and staff cannot be substituted for the professional guidance of an actual trial lawyer. Often the most important interview with a client is the first interview. Many firms send an investigator or staff person to conduct the first client meeting. At the Bandy Firm, Sean Richardson or Marshall Bandy will always be there to interview you and discuss your case during the first meeting and every meeting thereafter. Utilizing 65 years of combined trial experience, attorney Sean Richardson and Marshall Bandy will be there to guide you every step of the way. If you've been injured due to the negligence of another, call the Bandy Firm today. They'll be with you every step of the way. The Bandy Firm, 706-935-STEP, or on the web at bandylaw.com. The Bandy Firm, every step of the way. 706-935-STEP. That's 706-935-7837.
Back now to Sheriff Talk here on KWN. You know, one of the things that, and I know that a lot of the money that comes in from drug seizures and drug forfeitures and things like that, you know, get used to do various things. I mean, you've bought cars with it over the years. I mean, there's a lot of things, but you know, the money. The confiscated money usually comes from drug dealers and pushers and, you know, people that are exchanging drugs, large amounts for cash, if you will. You know, it seems to me like the people that are having to take care of the folks that are addicted to the drugs, that are in your jail, that have done crimes associated with the drugs, that's where some of that money needs to go. Mm-hmm. To be able to help the daily expenses to be, I mean, because these drug pushers and folks like that, they're out here making money, and every now and then we get lucky, law enforcement, to take that money out of their hands and use it. We need to be using it on, and you may do that on you know, keeping the folks in jail that are what you say, 80% of the folks in jail, or 85 are on, you know, drug-related charges.
Yeah, even most of them are probation violators, but it's originated with a drug charge. Most of them, the majority.
And that's another thing on the probation, and you know, and I'm glad we have the probation, because I think every affordable chance needs to be given to someone to have a second chance. Mm-hmm. Yes. You know. Because we all make mistakes.
Sure.
You know, everybody makes mistakes. But, you know, when you repeatedly violate your probation.
That's different.
You know, Georgia used to have and they may still do, and I'm asking, an habitual violator law. Do they have that now?
For driving.
For driving.
Yeah,
yes.
They do.
You know, I can see where there might be a need for an habitual probation violation.
And I've seen that law be kind of overlooked too. I've seen, I had a lady one time, 5 convictions, DUIs, and
driving to work.
Still driving, was not deemed a habitual violator. So,
or a habitual violator in a different state,
Yeah.
still can get their license in Georgia,
Yep.
or vice versa.
So we got, somebody slipped through the crack, I guess you'd say.
Well, y'all deal with this every day.
Amongst hundreds of other problems that we deal with, not just that, but yeah, it's just chaotic sometimes, the way things are handled.
Getting back to investigation, and I know you got your new investigator who's going to come on in the next segment. What, other than what we talked about with the children and the sex crimes, what are some of the other things that you're having to deal with through investigations?
Burglaries, violent crimes, different types of theft, adult abuse, elder abuse,
scams.
Yes, tons of scams.
So there's no, other than what we talked about there, what's your next biggest problem that you can think of that you probably see more than most?
As far as numbers, probably theft,
Domestic
some type
violence.
of theft. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Domestic violence.
And a lot of people wouldn't think, but that does fall after the officer does the initial arrest. Sometimes, and especially if it's more than one occasion, that would fall to investigations to validate if there was actual violence there, right?
Well, it depends on how much violence or what type of violence was used. What was used in the violence?
I would say our number one crime here is, of course, the drug problem.
Yeah.
The thefts, as Barry said, snatch and grab, stuff like that, but we don't have that many burglaries home in
Not a lot.
But it's mainly something they just see laying in the yard and they'll steal it, take it or whatever. Then as Cindy says, our domestic violence, we have, I guess every county has a problem with domestic violence. But overall, our drug problems is the biggest.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I think we've got your new detective that is joined us, so we're going to take a break, and I don't know. I guess one of you will.
I'll step out.
No, I'll step out.
We'll both step out.
Talking that earlier, they all of them had their hand up, and I said I'm the one that needs to go. But anyway, we'll take a break. Stay with us. More Sheriff Talk on the way.
Enel Tax and Bookkeeping is ready to serve all of your tax needs. Nancy Anderton's been serving the tri-state area since 1978. Now you can get your taxes prepared with no out-of-pocket expenses. Ask about up to a $1,200 refund advance. It's fast, easy, safe, and convenient. Enel Tax and Bookkeeping is open 8:30 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and 8:30 a.m. till 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Questions about the Affordable Care Act? We have those answers too. And we offer a free form price comparison. Experienced and professional tax services. Enel Tax and Bookkeeping. 500 Alabama Highway 73, 7 miles from downtown Trenton. Call today at 706-657-4758 or 256-597-2829. Enel Tax and Bookkeeping. 706-657-4758 or 256-597-2829.
Hey, that cold weather is coming, and it's never too early to get your winter supplies from Rising Fawn Hardware and Supply. 4300 Highway 11 South in Rising Fawn. Everything you need to wrap pipes under the house. Winterize around the doors. Make sure your outside faucets are protected, and keep those drafts from coming through the windows. Get your supplies for fall and winter for the home and farm today. Rising Fawn Hardware and Supply. 4300 Highway 11 South in Rising Fawn. Telephone 706-462-2071.
Gigabit Internet residential service is now available to customers of the North Alabama Electric Co-op with NAEC Fiber in Jackson and Marshall County. Residential gig service is now available for only $79.95. Call today to have your gig service installed at 256-437-5000. High-speed fiber residential gig internet service now available to customers of the North Alabama Electric Co-op with NAEC Fiber. Business and commercial customers can get gig service too. Call for pricing 256-437-5000. Gig service from North Alabama Electric Co-op 256-437-5000.
Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. At 402 North Cedar Avenue in South Pittsburgh, 4765 Main Street in Jasper, and at 14087 Highway 28 in Whitwell. Providing the highest standard of customer services with a personal touch. Our associates can help you with personal loans, personal lines of credit, a variety of mortgage loans, and more. And we offer real-time internet banking too. See us in South Pittsburgh, Jasper, and Whitwell today. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Well, welcome back to Sheriff Talk here on KWN-TV and streaming on ITV Chattanooga. We welcome you back to this segment. And Sheriff, you talked about your new detective, and he is here.
He's here.
And he's not new. I just found that out right before we went on. He's an old homeboy here.
Yeah, he's not only an old homeboy, he's got years of experience in law enforcement. Tim and I grew up together years ago. His
Tim
McKay.
Okay.
Tim's dad was kind of like my second dad. When I wasn't home, I was over at their house eating or spending a night or something, and we'd camp out and all kind of stuff. But we kind of grew up together, and Tim ended up joining the Air Force and retired out of the Air Force, didn't you, Tim?
I did.
Then after that, he was in Mississippi stationed and joined the Biloxi Police Department. And tell them what positions you held there, Tim.
Well, I started out, of course, on patrol like most guys, and the night shift, of course, and but eventually started working the DUI unit and went on to motorcycle patrol, and then made it to criminal investigations, and I spent most of my time in criminal investigations.
Now, Biloxi, what size city is that?
Well, census says 50,000 population, but Biloxi is not a bedroom community. It's a place where people go to work and play. So there's a lot of people that come into the city during the daytime and nights even. There's casinos.
Casinos, right.
And,
so in your number of years, you bring a lot of, I can just imagine, a lot of experience from a lot of different various crimes that we may not see here in our county. A lot of, anyway.
I saw I think I got quite a bit of experience there in Biloxi, and I'd like for us not to have some of that.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. But that's good. Are you just recently moving back, or?
I did. I retired from Biloxi in November of 17, and then I built a house up on Lookout Mountain. And I always wanted to come back here. It's just that it seemed that I was always pulled in other directions. So.
What year did you graduate here?
76.
Wow. So you were, now, did you go to Northwest Georgia, or were you one of the last ones at Dade County?
We went to Northwest Georgia in my senior year.
Okay. I thought 76. It depended on, it was the, so you got you were the first graduating class in the school that nobody knew where it was at.
One over on the hill.
Yeah, I mean, so I go to Northwest Georgia, and they go, well, that's down in Dalton, isn't it?
Yeah.
We always got confused with Northwest Whitfield. And,
I remember and
all that.
Junior year, we were at the Dade Elementary as in high school and they were building the Northwest Georgia. And then our senior year, we moved over there in my school career. But Tim was being kind of modest too. He didn't tell you that he was also a lieutenant down in Biloxi. Also on the SWAT team. He's also EVOC certified instructor. He's also a firearms instructor and a Glock armorer. So he's got a. When I heard Tim was moving back up here, I'm good friends with his brother too, and had got word he was moving back up here. I said I got to get him. So I was fortunate enough to talk to him, and he agreed to come on board with us, and we were very fortunate to have him.
Well, the vast years of experience and the knowledge and all of the certifications and everything that you got, but you're also from here, and I think that anytime you can get an officer that I would use the word homegrown or grew up here, I think it adds a little bit of a sense of pride or a sense of ownership, in the job you do. I think that's good. We were talking about Heartline earlier. Of course, I went to school with him, and the homegrown law enforcement. I think it's always good if you can get it.
Well, thank you for that, and I agree. I'm proud to be back here and maybe be able to do something good for the people here in this community.
Well, that is good, and I guess you're. I think you were riding with one of the officers, kind of getting acclimated to the county, but you already know most of it, I would think.
Well, I was gone quite a while, so and I never spent a lot of time up on Sand Mountain, so I've got a lot to learn.
Well, there's a long way from the backside of the loop to Yankee Road. I guarantee you.
Or Coast City Hall.
Well, that's true. That is true. There's a long distance back and forth. Coming right into the investigative side of things, how long have you been here? I don't even know.
Been back here?
Yeah, with the sheriff's department.
Oh, just a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're just now figuring out where everything's at or whatever. Well, talking with the folks who've been here for a long time, I mean, we're small, but we've also got 2 interstates, and we have some things that are happening that are big city, if you will, just because of our interstate system.
Sure.
That we have.
I was talking to Tim the other day, and he was telling me, of course, Biloxi is a different place than here, and he said, Sheriff, he said, it's just amazing that I haven't found anybody rude or obnoxious like he does. He had to deal with it down there all the time, but he said everybody's been just a nice thing to be here. And I said, well, so that's for the citizens out there. That's
well, most of us are raised right.
Yeah, that's
it's true. I don't think in the 2 weeks that I've been riding in a patrol car with a real deputy, because I'm not a real deputy yet, that anybody has said a cross word to me or the deputy. Everybody has been reasonable and polite, something I didn't really experience in a municipality.
And Tim, I think part of that goes to the officer, the way they talk to him and treat them on the scene.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
so.
Yeah,
I give them credit for treating people right.
Well, and I think it goes to leadership too, because these guys have learned that from the leaders, starting with the sheriff.
Well, it looks like, of course, with Chad coming into investigation, it looked like you've got a really good investigative department.
We're fixing to have one of the best investigative departments around as I can see. Tons of experience in there. Like I say, they know how to treat people and know how to work cases. So that's a big plus for Dade County.
And I'm assuming you got to probably go and do your Georgia law and stuff like that, and then you'll be ready to go.
I do. I have to go to Atlanta and take a test before they'll give me a
good deal. Well, we're going to take another break. Stay here with us, and we'll continue our conversation as you watch Sheriff Talk all around the tri-state area here on KWN TV.
The big jet fly. We're caught in a trap. One of these nights, love will keep us together. In the name of love. Ours is our breath. Ours. Wouldn't it be nice if we were older? The big jet fly. WFI.
When you or a loved one is facing a life-limiting illness, hospice care may be the answer. At Tapestry Hospice, the patient is the focus of our care. We're here to serve you and facilitate your wishes. Tapestry caregivers are concerned with managing your pain, keeping you in touch with your physician, and helping you make plans for the future. Hospice is life-affirming, and Tapestry Hospice can help you deal with all aspects of life, mind, body, and soul. Call Tapestry Hospice for more information. 706-383-8812. That's 706-383-8812. Tapestry Hospice. Redefining hope. Come enjoy pizza for lunch or dinner in a family-friendly atmosphere at Stevie Bs Pizza in Fort Payne. Enjoy the buffet and salad bar anytime, or have a specialty pizza made to order. At Stevie Bs, take advantage of Two-Stamp Tuesday for adult and senior buffets, and Thirsty Thursdays when drinks are free after 4 p.m. Take out any medium pizza weekdays between 2 and 5 for just $4.49. And on the weekends, take out any 2 large pizzas just $14.99. Book your parties now by calling Stevie Bs at 256-979-1234. Stevie Bs Pizza, 2200 Galt Avenue North, Fort Payne. When you need a licensed plumber, call Stacy Ledwell and the staff at Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Mr. Rooter provides your home or business with advanced solutions using high-tech equipment. Our commitment to customer satisfaction shines through in our personalized service. When you schedule an appointment, our professionals will dedicate time to explain the work that has to be done. Our staff will give you upfront pricing, so you'll know exactly what's involved before any work begins. We even pump septic tanks and do new construction on houses. Fully licensed, bonded, and insured, Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Call Stacy Ledwell today to set up an appointment at 256-574-4710. The Moore family name has built a legacy of trust, compassion, and peace of mind by standing with families during time of loss. Now in our 70th year, the Moore family commitment grows even stronger, from affordable, traditional services to cremation. Our experienced staff stands ready to follow through on you and your family's wishes. Since 1945, the Moore family of funeral homes, North Sand Mountain and Trenton, always dedicated to those we serve.
Back now to Sheriff Talk here on KWN TV, and you were just talking about the legislative process as it's going on right now in the state, and several new bills coming up, and they always have a problem keeping up with legislation and the attorneys. But I think they finally, when it comes to this, the different type of additives for the stuff that you can buy in the convenience stores, and the name escapes me right now, but Spice or something?
The Spice and Kratom's another one.
Where they change one little bitty ingredient.
They did a law that covers all that, Evan, where they don't have to go back and change that law every time they add a different ingredient. So that one of the senators come up with that, and that's great.
One of the, because for a while there was, okay, all right, they change it here, and then the lawyers for whoever the manufacturers, they'd change one little ingredient, and then all of a sudden be legal again until next year. And when you got a part-time legislature that only meets 40 days in January and February and March,
a gap in there.
It's hard to, right. And I know that the quote-unquote gambling machines have moved out of their jurisdiction of the normal, like GBI. It's in the division they created that's in the lottery division. Is that correct?
Yeah, through GBI.
Through
They
GBI.
regulate the machines. They're especially ones in the convenience stores and stuff. They are regulated through Atlanta now, and they'll send down every once in a while a guy to come by and just check the machines. But everything is now regulated through Atlanta.
Yeah, and that's shifted a little bit. I mean, obviously, and we used to see a lot of confiscating of the machines and things like that. You don't see a lot of that anymore. On occasion, it still goes on, I guess.
Yeah, nothing like it used to be. But, since my first term, my first year in, I don't think we've had a case since then of the illegal gambling machines that we've encountered. GBI may have sent someone down to confiscate some, but.
And that leads me to a question. Now, you worked in a city where the whole city functioned on gambling pretty much. It's the destination. So I guess that's a little bit different, from a jurisdiction that allows gambling and basically thrives on it, to somewhere where it's still illegal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It brought some crime in, but the casinos did a good job, I think, with their security departments of controlling what they could. But inevitably, there's going to always be some at the fringes.
Now, and this is just a question because I don't know. I guess you mix alcohol with gambling. I mean,
oh sure.
So there's bars inside of okay.
Sure,
that kind of tells everybody they haven't been in one. So
absolutely, they'll bring you your drink right to your machine.
Okay, so was there problems there a lot? I mean,
I can't say there was problems there a lot, but because, like I say, the security departments really did a good job at taking care of things on security property, the things that they could. But
I guess you were only called in if there was an actual crime or an investigative thing that would have been around anything that went on there that they couldn't handle.
Sure, if it was something beyond their ability to handle it, that's when they called us.
And I can't recall if I've ever been to Biloxi. So, I mean, is there a number of casinos down there?
There was 9 there.
9.
So
I know, and you hear a lot of folks, a lot of seniors will get on buses and take weekend trips to Biloxi. I mean, I can't. It's the good thing I can't see a lot of crime happening from a busload of seniors coming down to have fun.
Tim, did the Gaming Commission, did they have officers that would handle some of those crimes, or was it all security that they hired, or do you know?
I'm afraid I don't know exactly what the Gaming Commission did, because the laws were very specific about what they could handle, and sometimes I didn't understand why they couldn't handle something. But they were supposed to stay out of it unless it involved money that was in play or something.
A lot of jurisdictional lines there not to cross, I guess.
So sometimes I didn't always understand exactly why it fell to us to handle it. So we did handle many things, especially thefts from the tables and prostitutes and stuff like that.
All right. Well, that's interesting, and I guess we deal basically in DeKalb and Jackson and Marion and Dade County, and very fortunate don't have a lot of big city crime, so that's kind of inquisitive to get your perspective on working in a bigger city. Obviously, with 50,000 folks, it's not like Chattanooga, but it's not like Trenton either, or Jasper, or Kimball, or Scottsboro even, or so a lot of different. Especially, I mean, we don't have any gambling, other than the lottery, that we got, and that seems to be well regulated. I mean, those scratch off tickets and the things in the convenience stores.
I know one issue Tim dealt with down there that me and my daughter went on a cruise, and we stopped by his house down there one time. Is Katrina, when we come down through there, Tim took me around and showed me a lot of places that ships that got washed into shore, and casinos got moved down the river or down the coast, and mansions got blown off their slab, concrete slabs, and just.
Yeah, I was there for Katrina, and there's a lot of death and destruction. It was hopefully the largest disaster I'll ever have to deal with. Hopefully.
Well, I mean, obviously we've had the tornadoes of 2007 that we had to deal with, and the devastation. But I mean, and not to take away from that, but obviously that whole coastline was looking like a strip of what Dade County became, right. And Jackson County and DeKalb County with those tornadoes.
Right.
So it was. We just seen the pictures on TV. You got to see it firsthand.
Yeah. I was working in and. Matter of fact, I was in close to the jail, and my son was coming home from work, and he was going to try me. I said, "No, you come out of jail." We got in the jail, and it came through, and then after we left, it was just chaos everywhere. By the school and our substation over there, the lines were down everywhere. Houses were out in the middle of the street, and just total disaster here.
Absolutely.
Only lost one person in Dade County, but you go over to I think it was
Jackson County. And DeKalb.
They had a community up on the
Shiloh.
Shiloh that lost, I think, 14.
Yeah, it was all in that area out there in Jackson and DeKalb County, and then over in Catoosa County, and just the devastation of what it done. But obviously, that water makes the same type of devastation.
It's hard to know what it's like to be in a disaster like that until you've walked that ground, and actually seen it and smelled the smells
And it's got to be different too. I mean, being in emergency services, because you've got to be trained in so many other aspects. Being on the coast like that, somebody. We talked here, and Bo Burnett, sheriff of Marion County, is usually here with Sheriff Cross. Had in service this week, but he's got the Tennessee River to deal with. We've got Lookout Creek, so I mean, they've got a boat and they've got a unit, and they have a lot of. Jackson County has a lot of waterways, and Marion County that we don't. We got a lot of mountains. Of course, they got mountains too, but you got to be you got to be abreast to be able to take care of those issues as well.
Mm-hmm.
like that.
We had a lot of agencies. We had a lot of agencies on the ground real quick afterward, in spite of what some people would have you believe. We got a lot of help coming in really quick after Katrina.
Well, the bad part about all of this, and he's a politician, so, but he'll understand. He agree with it. No matter who is in the know at the time, some people want to try to politicize it, but I do know as a first responder and as someone that has spent decades in emergency services, it's not political.
No, it's
to
not.
Us.
Absolutely not.
Not
to the guys on the ground.
Absolutely, it's never. I've never seen that side of it. It may happen in Washington. It may even happen on a state level down there. But most people just roll up their sleeves and get to work, and they worry about everything else later.
And no slight on politicians, because any politician that was on the ground when that happened, I think he's going to roll up his sleeves.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, for sure. When we come back, stay with us. I'll let the sheriff make the new announcement. Dade County's got a football coach. Stay with us. We're right back after this.
Have lunch or dinner at Guthries, home of the original Golden Fried Chicken Finger and the best chicken finger sauce in the world. Guthries can help you plan your family's meals or get-togethers with bucket specials every Tuesday, those delicious wings on Wednesday, and platters every day of the week. Plus, get sweet tea by the gallon. Remember, Guthries has a party room for small gatherings, too. Guthries, Highway 136 West in Trenton, home of those Golden Fried Chicken Fingers and the best chicken finger sauce in the world.
Guthries, not fast food, good food fast.
I worked 12-hour shifts at the recycling company with my dad, who's 72. That taught me a work ethic that I carry with me every day.
When you're running your own business and taking care of your disabled brother, you tend to learn about responsibility pretty quickly.
I was living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
Growing up where I did, a lot of things could have gotten in the way of my goals, but I learned to push through. And that's what I bring to work every day.
My parents weren't fluent in English, so in school, I had to be independent and take initiative. And that's how I handle every project I get.
Landers McClarty Ford, Fort Payne, Alabama, home of America's hardest working truck. Right now, find that 2019 Ford F-150 XL MSRP price $35,360. Landers McClarty price $29,570. See him today. 0% financing up to 72 months. The home of America's hardest working truck. Landers McClarty Ford, 1916 Glen Boulevard, Fort Payne, Alabama. On the web at Landers McClarty Ford. FortPayne.net. A small bank with big service. Citizens Bank and Trust, offering a wide range of services, including online banking. Pay your bills, manage your account anytime, 24 hours a day. Your account balance is only a phone call away as well at 657-1234. Or visit our convenient locations. Lookout Mountain, Georgia, Higdon, Alabama, on our main branch on Highway 11 in Trenton. Citizens Bank and Trust, 657-5678. A community bank that believes in the community. Citizens Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Back now to Sheriff Talk here on KWN. We've got the gang back together. All of them.
That's right.
That's for sure. Make the big announcement here.
Well, from what you told me, Evan.
Well, we put it out on Facebook and Twitter. They had a press conference about 40 minutes ago at Dade County High School, and announcing. And I'll show you a picture
apparently Jeff Poston has been announced or appointed as head football coach at Dade County.
Now, he was assistant, right?
I think so. He's one of the assistants on the football team. He also coached wrestling because we donated some money to help him with uniforms and wrestling. But Jeff's a good guy. Hometown boy here, or man, not boy, but he also teaches too. I don't know what subject he teaches, but Jeff's hope he does a good job. Wish him the best of luck.
I know the press conference that they had at Dade County High School is on KWN's Facebook site. We streamed it live. so you can go there and watch it and find out exactly if the sheriff's right or not.
Well,
you can fact check the sheriff.
That come from him.
And it came from looking on the phone during a break. But anyway, you can go to KWN News now and be able to watch that press conference. And I know that last year we had a very, very well known and very nice man, Coach Pruitt, that's now moved to Marion County. So he'll be over there in Bose area. And it's good that they've got somebody now in place this early, going into spring, going into training and that type of thing. So that's good. I know that the superintendent had texted me this morning about 6 o'clock and said we're going to announce football coach at 12:15. So that's
I had to go up to Athens, Tennessee yesterday, and they've got McMinn County. They got a big school up there. That school is huge, and I'm sure they've got a big football team.
Oh yeah, I would think so. I mean, of course, we usually end up on a good laughable note here on the program. That's always good for Sheriff Talk.
Absolutely.
We start out talking about some bad stuff.
Let's laugh about this a little bit, Evan.
All right.
I hear, and I'm gonna kind of put you on the spot because all these cameras, and as I said earlier, Kansas is coming to, from what I understand, the Tivoli, and I usually get tickets from a friend. I don't know if you have any pull.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see.
See what we do.
Yeah, we'll talk Santa Claus and see what happens. There you go. Is that a good answer? How good have you been this year?
Listen to them, and I remember the thing that sticks out in my mind with them. They had a huge guy that wore overalls, had real long hair, and a big old beard. They played the fiddle or violin. I don't know.
It's a fiddle. Well, they live in Atlanta now,
but
so it's fiddle.
He was pretty awesome.
Might have been violin when they were in Kansas.
I don't think he's with them anymore, but I do remember that.
I got to see them at the Georgia Music Hall of Fame. They were inducted. The group Kansas was inducted in the Georgia Music Hall of Fame, but their headquarters have been in Atlanta for years. They moved down to Atlanta from the original Kansas, where they got their name. But I was very well impressed. These guys into their 70s, they were rocking and rolling. They rocked the house, let me just tell you, at 70-something years old.
That's good.
So that's been about 4 or 5 years ago. So, I mean, they were doing great then. About 4 years ago, I guess. It was pretty cool. So we'll have to see, Sheriff.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks for coming on, and we look forward to you being in the county, and I know that you're very familiar, and you'll see a lot of folks that you haven't seen in a long time, I'm sure.
Remade the acquaintance of a lot of people.
Absolutely. Welcome back, for
Thank
sure.
you. Good to be here.
We'll see you next week. Stay with us as Sheriff Talk will continue here on KWN TV. You've been watching Sheriff Talk, live from the studios of KWN TV7, all around the tri-state area, as we give you information that you can use concerning law enforcement. Join us again next week for another episode of Sheriff Talk, a public affairs program of KWN TV7.